That's gibberish.
Yeah, there's just a gas leak in the building.
Hello, good morning, BBs.
Oh, good morning. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And I love that we are in a world, Saige, where I can say good morning to the Academy Award-winning film franchise, Godzilla.
Sounds right.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. That's awesome. That's the only thing that mattered probably from the Oscars.
Yeah, welcome to the annual episode where Saige and I go over the winners of the Oscars and say,
Didn't see it.
good, didn't see it.
Yeah. Huh.
Seemed good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for Godzilla.
I heard that was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know.
Those kind of things.
Godzilla, of course, won Saige for visual effects.
That I did see.
And I would love to show...
Probably the only movie that was nominated that I did see.
I would love to show people some of the visual effects from Godzilla
Okay.
-1. If you could bring up my screen, Alex. Can you believe it took 60 years for this franchise to win an Oscar for special effects?
Unbelievable. All right. All right, that's enough of that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it took that long.
It's so crazy.
I did see Godzilla. You saw it?
I saw it.
I saw it.
This Godzilla.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
wanted to go back and see it. They put it back in the theater in black and white. And I thought that would be fun.
Okay.
And then I thought, I can do that at home.
Yeah.
I can turn my TV to black and white at home if I need to.
Sure.
Because here's the thing, Saige. And we were talking about this a little bit before the show.
Yes.
Godzilla -1, great film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah.
I feel like it really only got as much hype as it did here in the US because nobody in the US saw Shin Godzilla.
I agree. So I went in, and here's always a mistake. Don't overhype movies in the theaters before your friends go see them. Because everybody that I talked to that saw it before me was like, this is the greatest fucking movie of all time. This is incredible. This is a masterpiece. This is the only good Godzilla ever. And to which I already replied, have you seen Shin Godzilla?
Have you seen most Godzillas?
Have you seen most non-American Godzillas? Like if you've seen a Godzilla that we didn't make,
You
there's
probably
a lot
like
of good Godzilla.
You probably, even if it's a weird one, you probably like it.
We've made nothing but trash Godzilla movies.
How many, we've made what, 4 or 5 Godzilla movies in the United States now, and none of them have had tiny singing twins.
No.
Not a single one.
No. We had Bryan Cranston. We had a Millie Bobby Brown.
Yep.
I don't know. That's all I remember.
We had, was it a Juliette Binoche, a very good French lady?
Probably.
She was great.
There's been 5. There's been 5 American Godzillas.
I think we had a Sam Worthington. Do you remember when they were putting Sam Worthington in everything?
Hey, I don't remember shit about the American Godzilla movies because they're trash.
Here's what I remember the most about American Godzilla movies. The Matthew Broderick one had the most blockbuster video product placement in any movie in the history of ever. And I got to tell you, that did not work out well in the long term.
I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I can't believe it.
That movie may feel a little dated.
Maybe a little bit. But here's what I will say. It was a great movie.
Great movie.
Godzilla -1, super, super fun. But I do think people overhyped it in the theaters a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Like as this like magical experience. And it was like, oh, that was great. But I didn't leave like transcended. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I was like, oh, that was a great Godzilla movie. How fun was that? And I wish everybody had been like, wow, it was super fun.
Yeah, I had not arisen as a transformed Mothra or anything. I was just, I came in and I left the same way.
Yeah.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? For visual effects, I do believe it deserved it. It deserved
absolutely.
the
It
Oscar.
looked stunning. Visuals were like, that was the part of the movie to me that was like, yeah, this is worth all of the hype. Every bit of it, of how good Godzilla looks, how good these effects are.
And they did it for like a quarter of the budget of a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
When they announced the VFX team, it was, or the announcement for the Oscars, they had a video of the VFX team watching their announcement, and it's such a small team compared to an American movie.
And that makes so much sense. If I can give it one criticism, they did the one and only woman in the movie real dirty.
Yeah.
They did her so dirty.
Yeah, they did.
And I was just like, that's it for women?
That's it for women, everybody.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap on women.
Can we get a round of applause for women, everyone?
I was like, okay.
Cerveza Cristal.
Good morning, Alex. Sorry, the most random times to throw to you. You come in after the Cerveza Cristal ad. Sorry, I should have put in the run of show. Alex comes in after the Cerveza Cristal ad.
Not your fault. Good morning.
Did you see that Godzilla?
I did not see the Godzilla.
Did you see any of the movies that got Oscars?
What
about an Oppenheimer?
I did not see Oppenheimer.
Nope. Yeah, no.
No.
I did not see.
Let me tell you something. This is a crew that saw Barbie that weekend. You know what I mean?
I saw Barbie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
That's right.
That's great. That's great.
But it was nominated.
Hey, two incredible movies.
That's right.
Definitely the best movies of this year.
I think so.
I feel comfortable
so.
saying those were the two best movies of this year.
I feel really good about that, actually.
Yeah.
And it's wild to me that we are living in a time when two of the best movies of the year are massive cartoon/toy films.
Hell yeah. I love it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, J Shaw 21 says, I watched Poor Things after the Oscars, and that is a weird ass movie. Poor Things, we're not even gonna get into here.
I'll tell you, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I hate it, and I think it's trash. And I think everybody who loved it is fucking weird and should go to jail.
It's weird.
Everyone who loves Poor Things should go to jail.
I'm sort of over Yargos Lanthimos just being like, hey, what's the most shocking thing I can do in this movie just to be like, he's very edgelord with his movies.
Yeah. It's
usually
edgelord, but call it art. It's an edgelord that people can watch and feel like an edgelord, but be like, wow, I am so educated. I love art and film.
He's definitely a dude that went to film school with all of those words capitalized.
Yeah.
You know the type. You know the type. What's Poor Things? I never heard of it. You're fine.
Good.
You're
For
fine.
the best. It's the movie that won Best Actress for Emma Stone.
And that's exactly why she did the film.
Yes, it is.
That was her, I gotta get me this award.
Yep.
Give me this thing. And she got her thing. She got it. And then the other thing that movie was for was so Mark Ruffalo could show people he doesn't always have to play nice guy Bruce Banner in every movie.
And it was a bummer. I love nice guy Bruce Banner, so I love Mark Ruffalo, and seeing him like this made me sad. And I know it's not him as a guy.
Yeah.
I prefer seeing him as guys I like. And then I saw him as guy I really didn't like. And I was like, I want to go back to the other one, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see why he was just like, this is going to be good for the career. And maybe it will be. I mean, listen, people are saying Poor Things won like 5 Oscars and nobody in chat knows about it. Lol.
Yeah. Because it was one of those wannabe art house films. That's all. It's just like Mark Ruffalo said, look, I don't always have to be the like dashing, handsome scientist and superhero. Sometimes I could be a predator. And you're like, I guess if those are the two options.
If those are the things you want to do.
If that's range,
you know,
I guess you could say that.
Yeah. That's definitely a different thing than you've been doing.
It is as different as he could have gotten.
Yeah. If you wanted to do something different, you did.
Yeah, he went from gentle giant to little guy that takes advantage of people.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the exact opposite. He definitely had like a little guy syndrome in that movie.
Do you remember when he did that movie that was inexplicably huge? Like people loved it.
Nope.
It was called the Avengers. No, it was called it was Now You See Me.
Heard about it.
The movie where magicians do a heist. And
Heard
then
about
they
it.
did
Didn't see it.
did Now You See Me Too,
Yeah.
where more magicians do more heists.
I feel like that should have been Now You See Me Less.
I thought,
Now To See Me.
well, Dan Harmon did a bit about it where he's like, you did a sequel to Now You See Me and you didn't call it Now You Don't.
Yeah. That's too obvious. I like Now You See Me Less.
Yeah. Or they should have brought in Ocean's 11 style. You bring in John Cena.
Yeah.
And it's Now You Can't See Me.
Yeah.
And then they do the third one. And that's Now You See 3.
Nice.
And then they do the fourth one.
Now You Three Me.
Now You 3 Me.
Now You Three Me. Yeah. Now To See Me. Now You Three Me.
Yeah, that's right.
God, call us.
And then it's just called C4.
Yeah.
It's explosive.
Yeah, that's good. But
Yeah.
it's SEE4.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that.
I'm trying to think of 5. We'll have it by the end.
Yeah.
We'll have it by the end. Look, all I'm saying is Mark Ruffalo's done different things before.
Sure.
And we know he can act, and it's fine. You don't have to do the sexy baby movie.
Yeah, you don't have
want
to. You don't have to do it. Ooh, I do like Foresight as well. Netherworld Ned just suggested. Foresight. That's pretty good.
Foresight.
Yeah, for the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Nothing's
good.
going to beat Now You Three Me.
Now You Three Me is like...
I mean, nothing's going to beat that. I'm sorry. Good luck, guys.
Now You 5 Me Up High.
It's gibberish.
There's just a gas leak in the building. We're just free associating. Yeah. No wrong answers.
Put a number anywhere.
That's right. No wrong answers in brainstorming.
No wrong answers in brainstorming.
We're blue sky solutioneering right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we just skip the 5th one and go straight to 6.
Yeah.
Maybe we can fit 6 in there somewhere better.
Yeah, what have you got, huh? You threw it out there. You started this. What have you got then?
Maybe it's got any 6s? Because they're magicians and they've got cards.
Right, but they're playing Go Fish. They're not doing a magic trick.
Got any 6s?
Okay, what if another one was, is this your card? And then it just has the number on it.
Yeah, that's the 7th one.
Yeah.
It's just, is this your card? And everybody has, you just have to know. Yeah. You just have to sort of know that it's in the same franchise.
You'd have to look at the picture.
And it's a picture, the card has a picture of Mark Ruffalo as the Joker on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's not a 6.
No, it's not a 6.
We've lost putting the number in the poster then if it's the Joker.
Yeah, it's just called Got Any 6s? And the answer is no, because Mark Ruffalo.
So then 7 is this your card? And it's a Joker. And not a 7 though.
No, okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So is this your card? And it's a 7 with a Joker. Because Mark Ruffalo, you never know where he's gonna do. I don't even think he was a magician. I think he was the one character that wasn't a magician. I think he was the cop.
That's so funny. God. Well, if he really wanted to show his range, he should have been a magician.
But can I tell you? Spoilers for the, I don't know how many years old movie.
2014 or something.
Movie Now You See Me.
Yeah.
At the end, it turns out, even though he's a cop, he's really into close-up magic. So he knew what they were doing the whole time. This is not a bit.
You know why?
This is not a bit.
You know why?
Why?
Because all cops are liars.
That's right. And I guess Mark Ruffalo's got range. Go see him in the Sexy Baby movie.
Don't see the Sexy Baby movie. I really, as somebody who went in with absolutely no information beforehand, I really can't recommend it less. Mm-hmm. That was a big mistake. I was like, oh, I like Emma Stone. Poster is pretty.
I just wanted, okay, so he was a magician pretending to be a cop, pretending to be a magician? He's afraid of cops?
I mean, all cops are pretending a little.
Yeah.
To like serve and protect.
Yeah. To have authority. Mm-hmm. To be good people.
To be unbiased. To uphold law.
When I first saw the trailer for Poor Things, was very excited because visually, it looked like exactly the sort of thing that I'm going to love.
Yeah, same.
It had that whimsy, baby.
Yeah, it did.
It had that whimsy.
Movie's not whimsical.
There's
I'll tell you
no
that.
whimsy in the film.
Absolutely not. And here's what I'm going to say. It's a lot of shots that looked like somebody who really wanted it to be visually that thing.
Yeah.
That were like, ooh, we're going to do something kind of wild and wacky. But they didn't go like, oh, here's the aesthetic of the film. They were like, wouldn't that be kind of weird?
Yeah.
Ooh, wouldn't that be kind of weird? And then they just kept doing it. So there's actually no like visual consistency throughout the film. And there's just occasionally scenes where it's like, I see that you thought you were really artistic for this entirely unrelated visual.
Right.
Congratulations, I guess.
If you want to see a whimsical film, watch the first 4 minutes of Poor Things. You'll see a man burp bubbles. You'll see a dog with a duck for a head.
Yeah.
And then you'll be done. And then the movie will be over.
Yeah, that's a good place to stop.
It's great.
That's a good place to stop, I'd see.
That's also a good place to stop talking about the Oscars because we saw 3 movies last year.
But also, if you want to see a whimsical film, instead, see Lisa Frankenstein, damn it.
I can't believe that I said we were done talking about movies and then you just continued talking about movies.
Actually, you said we were done talking about the Oscars and Lisa Frankenstein wasn't nominated. They were snubbed.
Oh, okay, then we're fine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Then we're fine. I don't have to walk off in a huff.
Yeah, settle down.
I watched Lisa Frankenstein. I enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I heard Lisa. Could they hear you say that? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a button.
He's got a button.
He's got a button for the mic and everything.
Shit. Why didn't we win a fucking Oscar?
Right? We've got a button to patch in Alex's mic.
Every episode we do is feature film length.
Uh-huh.
And has Alex with a button on a mic. So like, what is anybody doing that we're not doing?
I have to agree with She-Light said Lisa Frankenstein is set to become a cult classic in a few years. I think it's being underappreciated right now. And I think that 10 years from now, everybody's going to be like, oh man,
I think
that
they knew,
weird ass movie.
I think they knew
not appreciating its time.
I think they knew exactly how big Lisa Frankenstein was going to be. I think they knew that they were making a cult film.
Yeah.
When you look at that crew, that's a crew that loves cult film and makes cult film and has made cult films before.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we know exactly what our films are.
Love it.
These are films that are going to get like a little bit of a pop at the box office on the first week. And then we'll just have such staying power for the next like.
Jennifer's Body was not exactly a smash at the time. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think the only movie that she wrote that did really, really well was Juno. Juno was like a big deal, but Juno did not have the staying power of Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Like people don't talk about Juno half as much as they talk about Jennifer's Body now.
Yeah, I agree. It was huge at the time. Massive at the time. But Diablo Cody, Zelda Williams. Great. Anyways, now we can move on. I Hate Jennifer's Body. Sucks. To suck.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie. Perfect film.
Great movie. Get good. Get
Perfect
good.
film.
Hey.
Do you want to see my favorite clip from Jennifer's Body? Can we show it, Alex? It's on
yeah. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Because look.
Now wait. Winds up.
Yeah.
The music turns into surf music.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
He talks in robot speak and says, "Go for another one."
Yeah.
Go for another one, a bigger one this time.
She's not killing people; she's killing boys.
A little bit of a celebration there.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it. We're literally not going to go through the rest. Barbie didn't get any of the awards it should have.
Get the fuck out of here.
Unsurprising because that's how it's been at every fucking award show so far. But a devastating failure on Hollywood's part. To recognize the greatest movie of the year, which was definitively Barbie.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They did a lavish production of I'm Just Ken, though, at the Oscars ceremony.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And yet
really,
can't actually appreciate the movie. No. How interesting. How it's like, it's the biggest thing and that you have to incorporate it so people will watch. Like, your views will go up just by incorporating it. And yet give it no awards.
And it was also, you think about it, it's like, that's also the male lead song in the Barbie movie.
Correct.
And the guests that they brought up, obviously Mark Ronson was there because he co-wrote the song. And then their guest that they brought up was Slash from Guns N' Roses.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting. America Ferrera should have absolutely gotten it for Best Supporting Actress. America Ferrera was fucking phenomenal in this movie. It is absurd that she did not get that. I mean, what was she up against? Who got it? Who got it? Robert Downey Jr. and Oppenheimer got it instead. Wait, no, that was a actress.
No,
just kidding.
I think that was a different
category. They gendered it.
Yeah.
I forget they gender it. I didn't see The Holdovers, actually, so I can't speak on that.
The Holdovers is amazing. And actually,
I can't speak on that. But I will say America Ferrera was phenomenal and should have been recognized.
She should have been, but I will say I am not angry about The Holdovers getting it. If you watch The Holdovers, honestly, just a lovely, lovely film, and she was amazing. And Akoto Roku, says Best Supporting Actress pre-stacked this year. That's true.
Best Production Design Barbie was nominated for, and with it's insane that they didn't get production design. That was one of the most incredible physical sets. If it was all over my YouTube feed for weeks after all of the tours and walkthroughs and breakdowns and just thoughtfulness put into creating this world. And Poor Things got it, which again was an inconsistent mess of visuals that really wanted to be something, but tried a little bit of everything.
Well, and it also brought back, like, Barbie brought back a lot of practical stuff and old school techniques that people have not been using. Like, at this point, it's easier for a crew.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying either one of these jobs is easy, but it's easier for a crew to do a digital world than it is to build a physical world.
Yes.
Like the one they did in Barbie.
Yeah, it's crazy to give production design to, in my opinion, a digital world when you have that great of a physical set. Ridiculous.
Did you know that Greta Gerwig, I was watching an interview with her. Do you know who she spoke to when she was trying to figure out how to do the montage from Barbie World to LA?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. But I do remember. I saw this interview as well.
She went and spoke to the directors of the
Old Spice commercials.
Yeah. She went to the directors of the Old Spice campaigns and was like, the look down, look up here, there are diamonds in my hand, I'm riding a horse, like that old school campaign. And like, she was like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Explain every shot to me because I want to do that for an entire film.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Cataclysm 6 says, are awards even real? No. Not really.
No.
I will say the one thing that was nice about the Oscars, a clip that I saw, is at the end, one of the Jimmys, the Jimmy that hosts the Oscars, Kimmel.
Okay.
Kimmel did make like a very big pro-union solidarity. Like, it's very interesting right after watching like the video game awards that are trying to be the Oscars, ignoring everything that's actually affecting people in the industry.
Yeah.
And then watching the Oscars that are like, hey, this industry is about people. Support unions, support strikes, support everything that's going on. I'm just saying it's very interesting because, is it kind of like not an empty gesture, but just a statement that doesn't mean much? Yes, but we couldn't even do that in games. We couldn't even make that statement.
Question?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Jimmy that did blackface?
I don't know. No, I believe that was Fallon.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I think it was Fallon playing Chris Rock is what you're thinking of. Fallon played Chris Rock on Saturday Night Live and thought it was okay because he was friends with Chris Rock. I don't believe Kimmel. They all did. Oh, all the Jimmys have. We're both right. That's great.
He definitely did.
This just in, all the Jimmys did it.
So he most definitely did.
All the Jimmys did it.
Doing an impression of an NBA player.
Yeah, great.
Karl Malone.
So every Jimmy did it.
I just needed to check in with that really quick. Just wanted to thank you.
What about British Jimmy? Did British Jimmy do blackface?
Which one's that?
Corden.
Oh, James.
Yeah, he's just another Jimmy.
Got it.
James is just British for Jimmy.
Now, here's the thing. James Corden, I don't believe that I know of, has done blackface, but he has been trying to convince all of Hollywood he's gay for 20 years while simultaneously not being.
Well, and he's also apparently an abusive alcoholic on set.
Yeah.
So,
I just mean he's wearing a little bit of a different costume, Mm-hmm. So, like, there's that.
Wow, I can't believe all the Jimmys have done blackface. That's amazing.
Yeah. Just checking.
Wow.
Just thought I'd check if the guy who hosted the Oscars notoriously, which has always had a problem with being incredibly white and incredibly exclusionary of people of color in the industry and not recognizing them for their work. Just wondering if they decided to have a host who had done blackface.
Sure.
Just wondering.
Let's also remember that Jimmy Kimmel, every day that he's the famous guy that goes on screen and makes impassioned pleas for things like nationalized healthcare and unions and stuff like that. Real good guy of late night these days. Did start off making The Man Show with Adam Carolla for 5 years.
Yep.
That is what is essential to him launching his career.
Yeah. So maybe just clean the slate and start over and get some new people.
Yeah.
What if they weren't all middle-aged white guys named Jimmy? What if we tried something else? What if we've discovered that one isn't working?
Can I offer you a Steven? We got three Jimmys and a Steven.
I love that sitcom.
Yeah. Oh, and a Seth. We have one Jewish guy. Is Seth Jewish? Seth Meyers? He's got to be Jewish. Sure.
I'm not going to assume that.
Seth Meyers. He's probably one of us, right?
Maybe.
I don't know, though.
Know.
It's tough.
You never
it's
know.
Tough. Do you know that my mom still thinks Oscar Isaac is a nice Jewish boy? I don't have the heart to tell her.
Oh, I wish. I wish we had him.
Listen, we've got
as our Moon Knight, you know?
You know, particularly, Moon Knight is Jewish canonically.
Yeah, right.
They hit it quite a bit in the show. But my mother still thinks because of his stage name and because he basically looks like everybody in my family.
Yeah.
She's just, and he's got that, he's got the New York attitude.
Yeah.
The Juilliard New York attitude.
Yeah.
My mother genuinely believes Oscar Isaac is one of the chosen.
Yeah.
And
I just love Oscar Isaac so much. That
I love him too.
I didn't even really complain when he got cast to play the main Jewish character. We did a little bit of oh, that's a bummer, but I guess we'll let it go because it's Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, it was
really
fine.
like Oscar Isaac.
Here's the way I feel. Would I like it if Jewish people played Jewish characters? Yes, but I think for the most part, unless it's like a movie where the religion is like a central theme.
I agree.
And even then, if the religion is a central theme, I still think you can learn enough about the Jewish religion to act. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think it's the same thing with everything, where it's hey, when we talk about sexuality and roles, when we go beyond something of people of color, right? We're not people of color. We're Jews. It's different.
Yeah.
So when we go beyond
there are
that,
some people online that'll try to tell you it's not different, and those people can walk into the ocean.
Yeah, they're incorrect.
You can go right into the sea or jail. So
it is different for Jewish people. And with that, I'm it's one of those things, and the same thing too, where we're hey, support queer actors playing queer characters. And the only reason that we have to push so hard on that right now is because queer actors and Jewish actors are also not being given other roles, right? So it's hey, if the window's pretty small, we should probably give that one to,
Absolutely.
Right. That's the only reason, really. But also, I love Oscar Isaac and love Rachel Brosnahan, too.
That's right.
Love Rachel Brosnahan, too. No complaints here.
That is Miss Maisel, and she's totally fine. She is great, but she is perfect.
That's all I'm saying.
She's honorary.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You've been B'nai Mitzvahed.
Right.
With all the other actors that have done it really, really well.
Yeah, we don't have the cookout, but it's you can come
we have a B'nai Mitzvah where they all get bar mitzvahed together.
Right, yeah. She can come to dinner.
Yeah. There's more to Jewish culture in the Jewish... Sure, but here's the thing. And I say this as a Jewish American and a Jewish American that, comes from a very particular type of Jewish culture that Hollywood loves to represent, which is descended from Eastern European Holocaust surviving Jewish people.
And also as a non-practicing Jew, I know.
Raised in the Northeast, all of these things that are culturally in Hollywood considered Judaism. You can do that. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
You can do it the same way that somebody who didn't grow up in the South can play somebody who grew up in the South, or somebody who didn't go to college can pretend that they were a college student.
Right.
That's why it's acting.
Right.
You do your research, you learn the role, you do the thing.
And then there is a line where somebody's personal experience is invaluable to that role.
Yes. Okay, for an example, every movie that I grew up watching as a youth contained some sort of martial arts or Asian influence.
Yeah.
Everybody in those films, except for James Hong, 94 years old James Hong, still doing it. Every one of those people was white, basically.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not cool.
And again, different, extra not cool, very different, not cool than somebody not being Jewish and playing a Jewish character.
Yeah. Yeah, James Hong is immortal. That's right. David Lopan can never die. As long as keep bringing him the sacrifices with green eyes, and he will live forever. I love Big Trouble in Little China so much.
I've never seen it.
It's problematic.
Okay.
It is and it isn't.
Okay.
It's one of those 80s movies.
Sure enough. So it's an 80s movie.
Yeah, it's an 80s movie.
Got it. Understood.
Hey, everyone.
Let's talk about other stuff. Sure, it was the Oscars.
Yeah.
But also, it was another celebration recently.
Yes.
Another big day.
Yesterday was the Mario Day.
Mario Day! March 10th, Mario Day.
Wahoo!
It just means your calendar looks like it says Mario. And Nintendo's that's a good day for us to make some announcements on stuff. And I personally was fed by this one.
There was a lot going on.
I loved these announcements. It was very, very nice to the sages of the world who live and die by the GameCube. So let's just go through everything they announced on Mario Day.
Yeah, sure. The first and biggest thing was a big surprise announcement full of unique and amazing content and just honestly unbelievable. I didn't see it coming, and I didn't believe that they would release all of these details. The second Super Mario Brothers animated film is happening.
That's it. It's in the works.
That's it.
That's it. It's neat.
It's coming.
Yeah. I'm super excited about that. I loved the first Mario movie.
It was great.
If I remember correctly, you said you were like on it.
Yeah,
Is that right?
So, okay. I think the Mario movie was really solid.
Yeah, we don't have to watch the video. It's okay.
I think if I was a kid and I saw that movie, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
But no, it has that, to me, the Mario movie had a lot of the Illumination house style in terms of humor. That's sort of like Minions, Secret Life of Pets style humor that just doesn't hit with me.
Yeah.
But if I was a kid, I would have lost my ding dang mind about the Super Mario movie.
I, not a child, loved it. Thought it was so cute. Loved it. Thought it was so cute.
It was adorable.
Adorable.
It looked amazing. They threw in a lot of fun references for people.
Yeah.
But not in a way where I was like, enough with the fun references.
Right.
It was good.
Fair
It was
enough.
a solid film. I'm excited for the second one because I'm hoping that they're able to do a little more.
I'm excited for the second one just because there is such a wonderful array of characters to get to. Like, I love secondary characters in Mario worlds. You know what I mean? Like,
we gotta get Rosalina in the
we
second
gotta.
one.
We gotta.
Because if they're leaving the Mushroom Kingdom and they're expanding,
Yeah.
they've got to leave. They probably got to go into space and go to other kingdoms.
Yeah.
Because Peach talked about that in the first film.
Right.
And so they got to find Rosalina.
You know I want to see Rosalina. You know that's my dream. I want Rosalina. I want a Daisy. I want some time with just like all of these other lovely characters.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, there was something about the Mario movie that it was just like this thing that has been in my life my entire life. Like, Mario is just so deep in my brain that it was like unbelievable to watch, you know?
It was beautiful.
To watch them interact with the world, like the world for me, just
It was gorgeous, and I will say it's the best looking movie Illumination has ever made.
yeah, absolutely.
They really put their all into the art direction of it. There was some stuff where I was like, why? So the Kongs, all right, like the Kongs, they're like a fighting based conflict sort of tribe society, and then also make carts, and also like it was just sort of like we got to get the Kongs in there.
I liked it.
It was good. I
thought it was
but
really
I
lovely.
love Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
Because that just sounds like, yeah, sure. That feels and sounds like Donkey Kong to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you every time I want a Luigi's Mansion movie. And
That's what I
we didn't
want.
get an announcement for that, but we did get an announcement of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD remake for the Switch. So excited. Love. So excited. Oh my God, so excited.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Please
Yeah.
and thank you. Put it in my hands right now. Tell me how much to pay. It's yours. You got it.
Luigi's Mansion 2, Dark Moon, right? That
Yeah.
was the 3DS one. I liked it. I think out of the three, it's probably the weakest.
Really?
Yeah, I like one because one is
the best.
One has that weird horror vibe that it's scary and weird in a way that Nintendo would not let happen more than once. You know what I mean? Like, that game came out and they were like, we were not paying enough attention to what they were doing with this game. We need to rein that in.
Yeah.
And then I like the third one. I love the hotel. I love the whole like world of that one, and I love Guigi.
Yeah.
And the puzzles. Saying it's the weakest of the three does not mean it's a bad game by any means.
I think they're three perfect games. And for me, in order, and this might be also based on a lot of nostalgia, it goes 1, 2, 3 in order of best games. 3 is my weakest, and I still think 3 was like a perfect Luigi's Mansion game.
It was great.
Like I have no complaints about any of that,
So
but
that's
I was
coming
so
on-
excited.
That's coming on June 27th.
So it's pretty-ish soon.
Yeah, and the Mario movie, by the way, is April of 2026, is what we heard.
Yeah. My most exciting announcement. Oh my God. The one that just, I could cry. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door remake.
Yeah, so we knew it was coming, but now we know when it's coming.
May 23rd. It's so soon.
It's so soon.
It's so soon. Thousand Year Door is the greatest Paper Mario game ever made.
It really is.
It really is. I think it's one of the best Mario games ever made.
Same. I was going to say it's probably in like my top 3 Mario games.
Yeah, it's definitely in my top 3. For me, it's 64 and Thousand Year Door are my 2 favorite Mario games, which is tough. There's a lot of damn good Mario games. I love the Galaxy games. I love Sunshine.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But those are probably my top 2.
Yeah, Thousand Year Door is amazing. It's interesting that they've been re-releasing like Mario RPG and now Thousand Year Door, because internally we've heard a lot of stuff about how Nintendo has really been reining intelligent systems in and making sure that they don't introduce new characters with new story into the Mario canon. They've been really like, if you play Thousand Year Door or the first couple of Mario RPG games, and then you play the last few, you're just like, these characters don't have any personality. They don't have story. They don't have there's no life to this.
Yeah.
It's all about weird mechanics. Why is it like this? And it's because they're not allowed to make those strange stories with new characters anymore.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo's like, no, this is not the Mario story. We want to make sure that this is not what people think is the Mario story.
Right.
And I hate that because I think it's holding the games back.
Yeah, it seems like maybe they are contending with their desire to do film and other mediums with it and wanting to establish a definitive canon through that for kids, like the new generation, knowing what Mario's story is. And I do see that. As we do these remakes, though, it's like you are still showing them these other stories.
Well, that's the thing,
my
right?
hope, my dream, my hope, my desire would be that we find out that they were doing that because they are setting out on a new set of Mario RPGs that will establish more fun and weird characters and more story and stuff like that. Won't be as stale.
That's exactly what I'm hoping too, because it's strange. It's very, there is a dichotomy there. There is a strange dichotomy there where it's like, look at these old games and how good they were.
Yeah.
But
When's the last time we got a new character? Like a fully new character? Was it the last Paper Mario?
I mean, you get we got the Origami King.
That
we
was
got
Paper
some,
Mario.
Yeah, we got some bombs, but they didn't really have much of a personality. Like they add new characters.
Have we gotten a new character? Like a bomb is an existing thing.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Have we gotten a new character since the Origami King?
Well, no. And the Origami King is just the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
The Origami King is just the bad guy. And when they get rid of the Origami King, everything goes back to normal. As far as a lasting Mario character, even the characters from the Paper Mario games never really cross over.
Yeah.
And
no, they don't.
And so it's interesting that Nintendo has really been reining intelligent systems in because why bother if you don't let them cross over to the main games anyway?
People said maybe Pauline.
Well, Pauline's old.
Yeah, but is that the last main character that does kind of cross over?
Yeah, I mean Pauline was more like we're bringing her back because Miyamoto was. It's really weird. I do think Miyamoto has a thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think Miyamoto has a thing where it's like the games that I make are the Mario games.
Yeah.
Where if I'm overseeing this game, that's a Mario game, stamp of approval.
Right.
These characters are real.
Yeah.
If I'm not working on it, don't do nothing.
Okay.
Don't do nothing weird.
Don't get weird with it.
Don't get weird with it. Because Pauline was very much the big Mario anniversary celebration. We're bringing back Pauline.
Yeah. Somebody said, Bowsette, make it real cowards at Nintendo.
Dude, I always think that Bowsette is real.
Really?
I really do. I'll forget sometimes that Bowsette is not a real thing.
No, I only picture her as cosplayers, so I definitely know it's not real. I only picture cosplayers.
You picture any cosplayers in particular?
No.
Yeah, I do want to see more new. I want to see more new Paper Mario games and Mario RPG games. I want to see them with new characters, and I want to see those new characters be shown as hey, Why can't Gino be part of the actual Mario canon? Why can't our little puppet friend Gino be part of the whole Mario thing?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. Also, do you think that when they do the Mario movie and they meet Daisy, do you think Daisy is going to be from like a sports planet?
Ooh, that'd be fun so that they can bring in a little bit of more of like the tennis of sorts.
Because she's mostly a sports character.
Yeah.
So I would love to see her brought in as this like
a
really
professional
intense,
tennis player.
This really intense, athletic,
Yeah.
like cool, like
Yeah, that'd be neat. I'd enjoy that.
like tough princess.
Yeah.
You know? That would be fun.
I also, we know that Nintendo has acknowledged a canonical relationship between Daisy and Luigi.
That's right.
We gotta see it. We
That's
gotta
right.
see it in the movies. We gotta see her show up and be like strong and powerful and badass and like buff and athletic.
Yeah.
And him just be like,
Yeah. And she picks him.
Yeah.
Like he does not have much of a say in it,
No.
and that's fine for him.
exactly.
He loves that. He said no pickles.
Speaking of sports, we've got some more Mario games coming to Switch Online, including Mario Tennis from the Game Boy Color, Mario Golf from the Game Boy Color, and Classic Mario Dr. Mario, or Classic Game Boy Dr. Mario.
If you have not played the Mario Tennis or golf games, you really should. The Game Boy ones are RPGs where you go to sports academies.
Yeah.
And you have to level up and make friends and play golf and tennis against the Mario characters to prove yourself. And I love those games so much.
Love it. Absolutely fabulous. Some good additions. The last few rounds of stuff coming to Switch Online, we've been kind of like, about, but that's neat. And lastly in this, it's like exciting for people. It's exciting for Nintendo making money for the most part. You know what I mean? Like the reason they're announcing this as like their big announcement is this what's going to make them the most money is Lego Mario Kart sets.
I mean, I'm excited for it. They've been putting out Mario sets for a little bit now.
Yeah.
And I think a Mario Kart set was definitely missing.
Well, yeah, there's just been so many, I guess, Mario Kart toys that I think of that I'm like, oh yeah, I guess. Because, you know, they made those like Mario race tracks.
Yeah.
That were like really expensive, but very cool.
$100 each.
Yeah.
I still want to play that. I've never played the Mario Kart home circuit.
Yeah. It looks like there's some other ones that were not included in this original roundup article. So it looks like we've got
Oh, Ghost. I love the Bowser train.
yeah.
Show the Bowser train.
Bowser Train. If you want to go to my screen, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there's the Bowser Train. That looks really neat to me. That's more exciting to me.
That's cool. Wait, is that Goomba wearing a top hat?
Sure is.
Hell yeah. I love that set.
This obviously the most appealing to me. This is King Boo's Haunted Mansion.
Love that. I want to see that flipped around to the back. I want to see the inside of that
I want to see the
mansion.
inside of that as well. I wonder if we can, we'll open up a tab and see if we can find that. We have a classic Peach's Castle that
I
looks
can't
fab.
believe there wasn't already a Peach's Castle set.
I can't believe how giant Toad is on top of it.
Yeah, this is one of their you can tell by the pieces, this is one of their teensy sets.
I don't like it. I don't like how big the characters are next to it. It means the castle's very small. I know that the like figures are bigger now.
Yeah.
The minifigs are just like bigger now.
No, that's also one of their micro sets. That's a tiny
but like
set.
they did get bigger. They're not this size guys with a lot of these sets. The Mario sets they've been doing are guys like this big.
Well, the Mario sets are
Like right here.
done to the Duplo scale, which the Duplo scale is for early childhood.
I know, but I think that is what, I mean, like look at the size of his head.
Yeah.
He's not a traditional figure.
He might be. He's just got like a one single block on his head with one dot.
I definitely think he's bigger.
But
I think it's
regardless, regardless, I think the Peach's Castle set should be at least as big as a freaking Disney Castle set or a Hogwarts Castle set. I want a real big Peach's Castle. I can't believe there isn't one.
Okay, I've got the inside of Boo's Haunted Castle.
All right, let's check it out.
Shush about the cookies. Boo's massive.
That's King Boo.
Yeah.
That's King Boo. That's
cute.
why.
You can see there's not like a ton of detail on the inside.
No, it's another
but you can see
small
there's like a
set.
couple of bookshelves, stuff like that. I agree. Another small set. I would have loved this as a bigger set.
Yeah. These are all those mini sets. They're like when you get a set off of Lego Ideas.
Yeah.
Where it's just like this set wasn't going to happen until enough people voted for it. It's
Hey.
one of those sets, but it's also a $75 mini set.
Yeah.
or mini scale set.
Right. Hey fam, question for you all. Quick question. What are we doing with our Legos once we build them?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because I got that big NES set.
Yeah.
Like the TV and everything. And I thought like it'll look cute on the shelf. Not really.
It looks like most of the shelf.
Yeah, it looks like Legos.
Yeah.
It's not my decor style. So if Lego is everybody who's building Lego the kind of person who aesthetically likes Lego on their shelf? And if you don't, is there anyone else in chat who doesn't like the look of Lego on their house as decoration, but really enjoys building Legos?
I think a lot of people, I would bet that it's like half and half, people who genuinely like displaying the sets.
Yeah.
And then people who just like it for the same reason people like putting puzzles together.
Like I love to build Lego
apart.
and look at it for a while and then be done with it. But then I have it in the box and I'm not going to build it again. So I end up just like giving it away to a kid.
Sure. Which I think is a very good life cycle for Legos.
Okay. We're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
I'm glad. I feel better.
You build it, you do your thing, you disassemble it, you hand it off to a kid.
There are certain sets that are aesthetic enough to display.
Or you rebuild it.
Most of them aren't.
If you're not a rebuild, like I think some people are rebuilders.
Yeah, I'm not a rebuilder.
You and I put together a Ghostbusters set a while ago, and I just have it in a drawer because it's small enough to have in a drawer.
Yeah, because it was the car. It was cute.
Because I'm not a big Lego guy.
Right.
There are some Lego stuff. I do have the Lego Razor Crest on a shelf.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think that's the only one that I have up. Some people do like. They add the kits to them that add like electrical lights and like all kinds of fun effects and stuff.
Very neat.
And that makes it more worth keeping on the shelf, I think.
Yeah.
I
think there are certain things that are like fandoms that I love enough to do so, and it makes sense. But that's not like I would build more Lego outside of just like my very favorite pieces if I knew what to do with them after. And then I'm just like, nah, I got to take all this apart, put it back in the box with the instructions. And then I feel bad because whoever I'm giving it to doesn't get it in the nicely little separated bags because I'm not putting it back like that.
If only you had like a studio space where you make pop culture content that needed rotating things for shelves.
If only.
If only. If only. Hey, everyone. You want to hear some good news about the video game industry? Because we haven't had much lately. I got some for you.
Would love some.
600 Activision QA workers have unionized, and Microsoft has voluntarily recognized the union.
Bless.
Microsoft has said, all right, yes.
All right.
Fine. We have made it. We have finally made it. So the bad press is so much that they simply must cave.
God. Yes.
Everyone unionize now.
Hey, also, it works and it's working and you've done it. And that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like people just paying attention, like even people who are outside of the industry that are not part of forming unions, people just paying attention to who is voting to union, who is striking, who is being treated fairly, supporting labor strikes. Like that's what has made this effective. People on the internet rallying around something they wouldn't have known was happening 20 years ago.
That's right. And the more people are doing this, the more it emboldens other people to try it. And the more it becomes an assumed thing that it will end in a union, right? People trying to unionize.
Yeah.
And the more people see like, oh, these people successfully unionize, these people successfully unionize, or these strikes are happening, and this makes it more normal for everyone. And it makes employers more likely to be like, well, they unionized.
Yeah.
And they'll hate it.
Yep.
But there's not much they can do about it.
Correct.
So this was the final vote over here at the Activision QA workers was 390 votes yes and 8 votes no. Bootlickers.
Yeah.
Only 8 bootlickers. Can you believe it? That's a very small amount of bootlickers.
8 people being willing to be noticed as bootlickers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 8 people said, I'm a bootlicker.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
The union covers approximately 600 Activision Central QA workers across Austin, Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and El Segundo, California.
Yeah.
This makes the union, which is called Activision Quality Assurance Workers United, the largest group of unionized video game workers in the U.S. They are part of the Communications Workers of America, who have the parent union that has accepted basically the entire video games industry and digital writers industry, since traditional media has been like, fuck you, video games, which has been really, really messed up to see traditional unions being like, video games isn't us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's weird.
That's weird that you would not want to do that.
Yeah.
That's weird. But okay. This is huge. So the, as you know, the Raven Software and Blizzard Albany unions were brought in under Microsoft during the $68.7 billion merger with Activision Blizzard.
Horrible number, hate to hear.
So basically, after that happened, Microsoft signed a labor neutrality agreement with the CWA in 2022. So basically, in order to acquire Activision Blizzard, Microsoft had to sign this contract that said, we will accept your unions as they exist.
Yeah.
And also, we will take a neutral position in all union organizing efforts.
Which is weird because that's what all companies are supposed to do in the first place.
Yeah, it's weird that you had to sign a specific contract agreement saying that when the law says that anyway, but okay. All right.
Okay.
It seems almost as though corporations know that they don't have to follow that law.
Yeah, it seems as if they get like a special pat on the back for following the law.
It's very odd.
Weird.
So strange.
How interesting.
So basically, neither Activision's QA workers nor Microsoft management have to go through the union election process with the National Labor Relations Board. Instead, Activision QA workers have been voting since February 22nd with either a union authorization card or a confidential vote through an online portal. Because of the neutrality agreement, when they vote and they say we're a union, it basically happens instantly.
Yep.
It basically says, yeah, you're a union member now.
Okay. Yes, you are.
Cards in the mail.
Love it.
We love it so much.
Hey, Anthony, maybe this isn't the order we should have done that in, but since you've mentioned Activision Blizzard and you gave us some good news, I have to give you some bad news.
Oh.
It's not necessarily news.
I was going to try to skip this one, but okay.
I know. No, it's too big to skip.
All right.
It's too ridiculous and big to skip. I just, nothing is for real or for sure yet. This is just a desire that I think we have to talk about. Bobby Kotick, the former CEO of Activision Blizzard.
Heard of him.
For some reason, decided to say that he wants to try and buy TikTok with OpenAI.
Love this. Love this dystopian thing that this thought.
He wants to join forces
goblin thought
with
out
Sam
of
Altman.
The goblin man's head.
Like, man, what a little gremlin this man is.
Absolute gremlin. This man says, because, obviously right now, there is a big movement to ban TikTok in the United States. This movement is basically based on American companies and CEOs watching this company from outside eat our lunch, and they're playing on xenophobia and fear to make sure that their companies eat our lunch.
They're saying,
and not a foreign company.
They can't have your information. Only Meta's allowed to do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. What is China doing with your information? I don't know. What did you do with my information during election years? I don't know. What did you do in Myanmar? I don't know.
That's interesting.
So weird, Meta.
Every day that I wake up and Israel has universal health insurance because of us and we don't, I go, okay, well, why are we trusting America?
Seems weird.
Why are we like, oh, our government can have our information, but China can't, even though, once again, they have shown that the Chinese government does not get access to information that is from American users. There's been so many agreements put in place to make sure that they're avoiding that.
The number of times the CEO of ByteDance in front of Congress had to say, once again, I'm Taiwanese, I live in Taiwan.
I'm not Chinese. I don't. And they're like, well, do you have a Chinese passport? No.
No, I'm from Taiwan.
Have you ever been a resident of China? No.
Now, it's absolutely wild. So President Biden has said that if the vote goes in to ban TikTok, he will sign the bill, which means ByteDance and TikTok will probably want to divest or at least create an American company. And
he's from Singapore, not Taiwan.
And here's Singapore.
We do want to issue that correction.
They'll basically try to open up an American version of TikTok. This is basically what will happen. They'll say that there's TikTok and then there's TikTok US.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, they're two totally separate companies. With the idea being somebody who's already a billionaire in the tech industry.
Correct.
Or a few people who are already billionaires in the American tech industry will get together and invest in TikTok US.
Yeah.
And they'll run the American arm and they'll be like, it's a totally different thing.
It's all fine now.
There's no difference except they want to launder money through themselves.
Correct.
What Bobby Kotick is saying is, what if I bought all of TikTok, including the currently running TikTok?
Yeah.
And I don't have the money myself. So what if I bought it with OpenAI because they've got a lot of money and they could use the data for the training, really. It would just be such a good get for both of us. So we're afraid of some nebulous thing that the Chinese government is doing with teen dances and anti-capitalist screeds. They're worried about what China's doing with that data. So what we should do is bring in the very good American company, OpenAI,
right,
who will no doubt use that data to train their models.
Yeah, that seems normal and fine and safe and okay.
That seems weird.
That seems okay.
That seems, I mean, it's weird, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I can't think of anything that's wrong with it. In the live studio audience, they're saying, they're afraid because all the kids are on TikTok now and they can't control it.
Yeah.
And that's true. But, and they're using this fear of China to make people think, what is China doing to your kids on TikTok? What is China doing to your kids? Never mind what Facebook is doing to you, Grandma.
Yeah.
What
pipeline is Grandma on? Maybe we put a little attention to what pipeline Grandma's in.
I don't know. Mark Zuckerberg seems all right. He likes barbecue sauce.
Yeah, and he says it just like that.
Yeah, he says, I'm a human man and I like barbecue sauce. I'm not doing anything bad.
Listen, everybody. We don't like to make fun of people's appearances. Look, them being bad has nothing to do with it. And we like to be very careful to make sure too that like if you were somebody that looked like that person, you aren't accidentally insulted by us making fun of somebody's appearance that is an evil, evil man.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out that much like Mitch McConnell, sometimes you can see the evil seeping through somebody's pores.
Right.
And really just seems like gravity is pulling them down into hell by sheer force of will. And I do feel like this photo of Bobby Kotick that was accompanied with this article does seem like the gravitational pull of hell just trying to consume him so he may never speak another word into the places outside of it is just really reflective of the situation.
Can I just say the weirdest thing about all of these evil billionaire nightmare people is when you see photos of them, even in their personal lives, they're just not enjoying their lives.
Nope.
Like you can look at all of these photos whenever you see them, and you're just like, you hate every moment of your existence.
Yeah.
Why keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
You could just tap out.
Maybe the next evil will make them happy.
Yeah.
Maybe my next great act of evil will finally bring me peace and joy.
They all look like they've never enjoyed a single moment of their life.
No.
Not a single one.
Yeah.
Why do it? Jeff Bezos hates his life so much that he regularly hires people to do pictorials showing him enjoying his life.
Right.
He's just like, no, look, I'm having fun.
Look at me next to a horse.
Look, I'm having fun. The horse is having fun.
Yeah.
This is horse.
Yeah.
I get on horse. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
You help me get on the horse, and then take a picture of me.
Right.
And we can say that I look very good on horse, and I've been horse since I was a child.
I've hired a new fiance to tell you how actually kind of fun and loose I am.
Woo!
Kind of like a fun, chill guy, really. If they were to know the real Beezy.
Yeah, if they were to know the real Beezy, the real Beezy's living it up in Miami. The real Beezy's like living it up at the raves, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember those photos of him at the raves? It was just like, what are you doing there? Like everybody at the rave definitely thought he was a cop.
Yeah.
Everybody at the rave was like, no, I don't know where to get any Molly, officer. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody looking around and Lex Luthor is in the middle of the pit and they're like, okay.
He's like, I enjoy electronic music. All right, man.
Sure.
Me too.
We're going to enjoy it over here, though.
You have a good evening.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Anyways, this isn't going to happen.
No.
Because Bobby Kotick doesn't have any money and has nothing to offer.
He has money, but he doesn't have the money to buy TikTok. He's got more money than you and I will ever see in our lives.
Can you imagine? Yes, absolutely. But he doesn't have buy TikTok money.
No, Bobby Kotick's got a couple $100 million, but Bobby Kotick does not have the billions and billions that a ByteDance is worth.
Hold on, wait, really quick.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick net worth, which again, we always know that these are, pretty rough. So currently it says that he has a net worth of $600 million.
Yeah.
$600 million. Hey, can we show my screen again?
What's he doing with it? What are you doing with it?
A net worth of $600 million.
What are you doing with it? Buy another t-shirt. You have $600 million. Buy another t-shirt.
That's it. Just throwing it out there. $600 million net worth. That man's himself.
Get a pair of sunglasses. You have $600 million.
Put on a little sunscreen.
Put on some sunscreen.
Put on a little bit of sunscreen.
Anyway, it'll never happen, but I just love that he can say something like that publicly.
The pure audacity.
And think it's okay.
And think that people are going to like it. People are going to be into it. People are going to be like, ooh.
What if I float this idea with you? Yeah. Me and the evil supercomputer company.
Yeah.
Buy TikTok.
What if we bought the thing you like?
Me and the evil supercomputer. I don't know.
And then thought people were going to be like, whoa, Bobby Kotick. So cool.
So cool.
You know what? Sometimes I think about the things I consume on the day-to-day basis and I go, who do I want to own this? And I think of people like Bobby Kotick.
But remember, it's not about what you and I think about it. Bobby Kotick says something like that publicly to see if somewhere in the world there's another billionaire that goes, ooh, good idea. Let's try to get this together.
But don't you think a little bit that he wants people to think he's cool?
I think Bobby Kotick doesn't worry about whether people think he's cool anymore.
I don't know.
I think he's beyond that.
I think he does. I look at that face and I'm like, ooh.
He worries about whether business people think he is strong business.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what people think. Jeff Bezos cares about what people think about him.
Elon Musk does. Yeah.
Bobby Kotick was the bad guy all the way through and kept acting like the bad guy and didn't care that he was acting like the bad guy and took his hundreds of millions of dollars and left as the bad guy and was chill with it.
You know when you find out in a movie that somebody who was like really beautiful had actually been sapping their youth through like young people in some capacity?
Sure.
And then they take it all back. They like break the spell or something.
Yeah.
That's Bobby Kotick. That's what Bobby Kotick looks like.
Bobby Kotick just looks like the manager of a mid-tier steakhouse.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like. He looks like a guy that really wants to sell you a Pontiac Sunfire.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like the guy that he looks like the surprising manager of your gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he comes out and you're like, oh, you're the manager of the gym.
Interesting. Yeah.
All right.
He looks like the guy that if you're like, ooh, I really need to find a shady place to pass my car in a smog check, he'd own it.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He looks like he'd pass my car in a smog check.
Bobby Kotick is going to come in and take a look at your water heater and he's going to say, oh, you're going to need a whole new water heater.
Oh, yeah.
He's that guy.
He's going to charge me a lot of money and not fix the problem.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyways, on to the next thing.
Bobby Kotick isn't the principal. He's the vice principal everybody hates.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. The really front-facing one.
Yeah.
It's really trying to do something. And everybody's like, you're not even the principal. We don't have to listen to you.
Hey, everybody shut up about Bobby Kotick, because there's good news. Mm-hmm. You know, the motion picture film, The Marvels.
I do. I love it.
Everybody was all like, the motion picture film, The Marvels, is not doing well, and it's not doing well in reviews, and nobody, is this the end of Marvel? What's going to happen because of the motion picture film?
It's probably because of the women. It's probably that people don't want to see women.
Now,
we told you not to make movies about women, and then look what happens. Go woke, go broke.
Well, it turns out that the most watched film online, the most watched film in the world on platforms, all of them, is The Marvels. Which I think says, I want to dissect this a little bit, because I think this is fascinating. I do believe, and we've talked about this before, I do believe that there is some quote unquote superhero fatigue or genre fatigue that is happening.
Yes.
I do believe there is. I don't think that's the entirety of what happened to the Marvels, certainly.
Yeah.
But I do think the Marvels not doing well in the theater and then being the most watched thing online does show that I think people are just like not rushing to the theater for this particular genre anymore.
I agree.
I don't think it speaks to the quality of the Marvels, how the Marvels did in theaters at all. But I do think that we're getting to a point, I'm here, I think a lot of people are here too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, they're pushing out so much of this franchise content right now. I can't watch it all.
Yeah.
I won't watch it all. And I'm not going to watch it all in the theater if I fall behind on the other stuff. And I think that's kind of what's hurting some Marvel stuff now too, or some, any franchise is, well, I didn't catch up on the Miss Marvel series, so I shouldn't go see the Marvels. Or I didn't watch the last couple whatevers. Yeah. So I should catch up on it and then watch the Marvels.
People watching at their own pace, people not paying to go to the theater because tickets are pretty exorbitantly expensive and getting more expensive. It's no longer a $12 day at the movies. It's a $20, $25 day at the movies with no snacks.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
That's a lot.
I get it. Absolutely, that makes sense. So it makes sense too, also, when you have the, unfortunately, power of people coming out initially and being like, oh, we're critics that hate women and are saying this movie is bad. Are you going to go and risk your $25 day out just to see a movie that has gotten mediocre reviews when it's a great fucking movie?
Right. But especially when you're saying to yourself, I watched the last few.
Yeah.
And they're starting to feel a little samey to me now.
Yeah, what'd you see before that? Love and Thunder? Fair. Fair enough.
They're starting to feel maybe a little sillier. They're starting to feel maybe a little samey, like I've seen them all before.
Yeah.
Plus, they just keep adding extra shows that I got to watch, extra things that I got to keep up with. Keeping up with giant genres or with the giant franchises is starting to feel like a homework assignment to people. Yeah,
and right now things have slowed down a little bit. There hasn't been a movie in theaters for a minute from Marvel. There hasn't been a show. There was Echo most recently.
Well, Bob Iger came back in and he said, he said on the last earnings call, he's like, we've spread Marvel and Star Wars a little thin.
Yep.
He's like, we tried to push too much and we see that we tried to push too much.
Yeah.
And so we have to pull back.
Right.
We have to do less.
And it's showing to me that works as well. The slowing down of it all does give people a chance to catch up and to enjoy it again.
Yeah. With a lot of these Marvel shows, I mean, you could really see it. You could really see it. Like the last couple, we talked about the 6-episode problem a lot over on Kinda Funny and here, where it's like, they have to make these shows so quickly.
Yeah.
Not because, like with the original Marvel movies, it's like, hey, let's slowly craft this and make the best things we can to be sure that we build something lasting.
Right.
Now it's become very much, we're not making a movie because it's time to make this movie. We're making a movie because we don't have a March movie.
Yes.
We're making a TV show because we don't have a June TV show to push subscribers.
Yeah.
And because of that, all of this stuff was so rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And in these 6-episode shows, you can really see it. You're like, oh, this show figured out. Our review of every one of these shows is the show figured out what it was at episode 3.
Right.
Which means the writers were rushed. The creative teams were rushed.
Right. And a lot of these are only 6-episode, 8-episode series. And then you're like, okay, well.
You're getting a lot of notes. You have to change things in the edits. And you really figure out what the show is by episode 3 of 6.
Yeah.
That's half the series.
Yeah. Even 3 of 8 is like, that's too late.
That's too late.
That's too late to start getting good.
So I am glad that they're pulling back on this stuff. And I am glad that Marvel's is getting the attention it deserves and it's getting the views that it deserves.
Yeah.
I think it will have just as long a tail as any other Marvel movie. I think people will be watching it for years and years.
I loved it. It's actually moved itself into my at least top 10 of all time from Marvel. Really, really loved it. Was a huge fan of it. In the week of February 5th to February 11th, The Marvels, being the most watched on any streaming service, had 558 million minutes watched. So if you are somebody who just caught up and just got a chance to see it for the first time, or you were just somebody who was rewatching it recently, I just want to know what you think of it. Because I genuinely really, really loved it. Like, I think I was experiencing a little bit of Marvel fatigue, even as somebody who took a while to get there. I think I know when it hit for me where I was a little bit fatigued by it.
Yeah.
And that movie reactivated me. I went and watched like 3 Marvel movies after it to go and rewatch some favorites because it reactivated my like enjoyment of Marvel. I watched it and I was like, ooh, I'm enjoying Marvel again.
Yeah.
Let me go watch a couple of my favorite Marvel movies. And I hadn't done that in a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting when they do nail one, you really just get back into the whole like, this is why I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do. You want to like, it makes, every time you see a good Marvel movie or a good Star Wars thing, you just go, I want to go back and watch it all over again.
Yep.
For those who are wondering, 558 million minutes watched is about, it's a little over 4.5 million people watching that movie on the first week. If you turn that into $20 a ticket, that's a good box office.
Yep.
Added to the people that went and saw it week 1, that's a good box office.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I think if the market conditions had been different, things would have been very different for the Marvels.
Yeah.
I feel similarly about it as I do about Birds of Prey. Like people were just like post original Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
They just weren't feeling like going to see another one of the DC movies.
And like the marketing was fucked and there was a lot of things around it that, led to that. But I agree. We don't have a lot of time left. We're running out of time
on this earth.
So, be smart with the time you have left, everybody. So I guess to like round up a couple of things, Sony's not stoked that Dakota Johnson has been trashing Madam Web at every turn as we're talking about superhero movies. And shocking. And reportedly, they're saying that they're questioning by the performance of the movie Dakota Johnson's star power. Because otherwise, maybe the movie would have really carried if they had gotten somebody with some real star power.
Honestly, when I was watching the movie, the thing that I thought was, this would be perfect.
Yeah.
Were it not for Dakota Johnson. Nothing wrong with this film.
Yeah.
Look, and here's the thing. Dakota Johnson is doing what's best for her career.
Yeah.
Which is coming out and trashing this movie because it's silly bad film.
Yeah.
So she's got to roll with the fact that it's silly bad.
I am curious to see what this does for her career. If people do take that as a positive, if she knew it was a bad movie, I think it's going to be bad for her.
I don't think she knew, like she went in knowing that it was a bad movie.
No, but she's acting like she's
acting like she knew it was a bad movie at some point.
Yeah.
But we talked about this. She did the same thing with 50 Shades. She does the same thing with every movie she's in that doesn't do well. And I think it's starting to become a pattern. And I think if she wasn't Hollywood royalty, she would not be getting any more chances.
Here's my hot take. I think if she wasn't Hollywood royalty, she probably wouldn't have gotten the first ones.
You're correct. Everybody that I've spoken to about Madam Web is just like, where did she come from? Because a lot of people, like, a lot of Nepo babies.
Yeah.
She keeps it a little quiet. If you ask her, she doesn't act like she's ashamed of it, but she do keep it a little quiet. And I'm sure there's somebody on Dakota's team, Dakota Johnson's team, that says, hey, no questions about her parents, please. We'll do the interview, but no questions about her parents, please.
How interesting.
How interesting.
How interesting.
Her parents, of course, Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, and her stepdad is Antonio Banderas. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Hey, do you have any superheroes for my daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter. No, yeah, the one who talked shit about your studio last time for the last movie.
Yeah.
You put her in that, or I'm not doing. I don't know. What is Antonio Banderas doing? That's
Whatever Antonio Banderas is doing.
Spy Kids 97 or
Probably.
Whatever. Get the fuck out of Gary. Put her in a movie. Dave Sony.
Sure thing.
All right, we got a superhero movie.
We've got one laying around.
It's kind of a Spider-Man. Great, she loves kind of a Spider-Man. Click.
Done. But it wasn't her fault the movie was bad. She was bad in the movie, but I can't say that, that was the deciding factor for Madam Web. A lot of people are talking about Puss in Boots for Antonio Banderas.
That's right.
Don't forget.
I will say, out of everybody that's in Madam Web, she is trashing it the most.
Yeah.
She is trashing it the hardest and the least jokingly.
Yeah.
Like you look at somebody like Sydney Sweeney when she did SNL, her joke about it was, hey, I'm Sydney Sweeney. You might have seen me in Euphoria, and you definitely haven't seen me in Madam Web.
That's it.
That's fine.
That was tasteful.
That's a good joke.
That was good. A great joke even.
Yeah.
I think that was great. I do think Dakota Johnson's probably the worst actor in Madam Web.
Huh.
Hard to say because the other guy was dubbed the whole time.
He's good.
And we've heard he's good in other things.
I've seen him in other stuff.
I haven't seen him in other things. He is maybe the worst part of that movie, but it's like him, Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney.
I've told you my theory.
Which is tough because, again, a lot of people love Sydney Sweeney and stuff.
Yeah, I've told you my theory, right? Where he's like Eisenberging / Redmaning his way through that movie.
Yeah,
where
I don't
nobody
know.
was directing him or paying attention, and he was just screaming for help.
Yeah, maybe.
He's just making weird decisions and
Maybe
screaming
that's
for
it.
help.
I don't know, but it's it's writing. It's really it's everything. It's everything. It turns out it's everything. But we've talked enough about Madam Web. Hey, if you haven't heard us talk enough about Madam Web, that means you're probably not subscribed to our Patreon at patreon.com/pixelcircus, where we did an hour-and-a-half breakdown of the entirety of Madam Web beat by beat, and we didn't make sense of a damn minute of it, but we did give you a lot of opinions on it.
That's right.
And there's a lot of stuff up there that you can check out. We did 40 minutes of the character creator of Dragon's Dogma 2.
That's right.
Last week. So if you want to see us make Vatilda Angel.
Vatilda Angel, the greatest of all the Dragon's Dogmas.
Yeah. our hero. You can check that out over there.
Yeah.
Random Patreon plug. I wasn't going to end the show, but that sounds like the end of the show, doesn't it?
That does sound like the end of the
Let's
show.
do it.
Let's end the show. Let's end the show. Good forever. Goodbye. No.
Hey, there is not going to be a Wednesday show this week, and we're making a little bit of an update to our schedule right now. It's Too Early is going to be on Mondays and Fridays.
That's
We're
right.
going to be taking Wednesdays off to make some other content
There
for you.
will still be Wednesdays. We just won't be doing a show on Wednesday.
No, Wednesday gets skipped now. There's no Wednesday in the week.
6-day week?
Isn't that nice? Everyone simultaneously wants more time.
Yeah. But does that mean they're turning Saturday into a work day? Fucking hell.
Anyways, everybody.
We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. So that's it. We have other things that we're going to make for you. So don't worry. There's not going to be less of us in general. We just get a chance to do other fun things for you. So you can look out for that very soon.
Yeah.
But Anthony,
Yes.
when you're not here, where are you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. And all this week, I'm going to be trying to like Final Fantasy VII. Come watch me and help me enjoy Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to play the remake first.
All right.
And see if I can get into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll enjoy it this time around.
Yeah.
I don't know, Saige, what do you do with your life?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. I have not been live on my channel in so long, and I will be live tonight. I'm back. I promise. I'm sorry. That's it. Alex?
Hello. I can be found on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and lots of other places on the internet. And I will be very excited tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out tomorrow morning for big announcements.
Ooh. All right, everybody, we're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone that supported us during the show, but let's talk about the ways that you can do that. Aside from the Patreon, which I mentioned, you can do it for free. You can like and subscribe on YouTube, even if you're watching on Twitch or you're listening in maybe podcast form. You go and check out the YouTube because that helps us out a lot. You can leave a comment talking about any of the things that we talked about today because I like hearing your opinions. I read all of the comments and they make me very happy.
Me too.
We've just got a nice group of people that say cool things.
We do. You're all very lovely. We also enjoy it when you share that the show's going live, share the show with a friend. That really helps out a lot. And of course, we love it when you go and hang out on the Discord. It's totally free. That's free real estate, baby. You can hang out with the other BBs and talk about what's important to you.
We had so many folks suggesting stories that we talked about today. We talked about a story from Flatlander. We talked about things that were posted in here by a bunch of lovely folks. Dadsmo, there we go. I can read. Thank you very much for your contributions to the show today. We appreciate you. Very cool of you.
Yeah.
We're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone that supported us directly on Twitch. You can do that through your donations that go make the bar go up behind us. You can do it through your subscriptions that get you cool little perks like our emotes. Not a lot of perks, but you do get a shout out on the show. It's nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to go through and we're going to say thank you to those folks. So thank you to Demo Nacho for 24 months since second Gregorian year. Next step, make them into Pixel Circus years.
That's right.
That's magic right there.
Rude Skata with 5 months. Thank you. That's a good chunk of time. You might like us.
Old Man Jane for 29 months said, spring is coming. I saw sun last week.
Oh, if Old Man Jan sees his shadow, it's 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
But, he did not. So that's
I've
great.
always said, Jane, and you're probably right
Old
on that.
Man Jan, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense with it. Sorry.
Yeah. Cassidy Weaver saying almost 3 Pixel Circus years with 38 months. So close. So close.
The Barbarian with the bit.
Thank you so much to Obi98 with saying 2 Gregorian and 2 months away from 2 Pixel Circus years.
And speaking of Pixel Circus years, we've got Sir Ross the Weary with 3 Pixel Circus years. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you all for being here and making this show possible. We love you. We appreciate you spending your mornings with us, and we'll see you on Friday.
Bye, BBs.
Bye, BBs.